We're back.
We're live. We're back. Yes,
Okay.
we are. Because when we ended our show with Elsbeth and Freddie, we were saying that we thought Athena might have gotten, lost or something
Lost in the
had
traffic,
happened.
California traffic. That's all I gotta say. George has taught me all about that. So
Right.
again, Athena lost in traffic. We didn't know where she was. Look, there she
But she's here. She's here. So we do get to do
is. Yeah.
her.
So we figured it was important. Your crystals are an important part of our Thursday nights, and if people
Thank
don't get it,
you.
they have nuclear meltdowns. So I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean, no Athena? What the heck is it?" When you're on vacation, I was like, "What?" It's like it's not the same. No, not again.
I was living the best life on my second honeymoon.
Yeah.
I know, right? This is a good thing. That is a
Yeah.
good
It was amazing. It was really amazing. Yes, yes.
This is the crystal that she wanted to bring for our Sexual Enlightenment show. So I don't even know how to say that. Shiva Lingam.
Shiva Lingam, yes.
Okay.
He spoke of the he spoke of the lingam.
Oh,
His word was
What?
used in the thing.
I don't think that was it, but
So this is
It's
that
absolutely
beauty.
stunning.
that is
Yes.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me make-
Oh, I
Pretty.
love it.
Make her big. No, not me.
Just drop and drag. There you go.
There we go.
We like
Oh,
the little students will sit quietly.
So you
oh, I
have
love
the
you.
stage. Now tell me about this beautiful person.
So yes, this is called Shiva Lingam, and hello everyone. By the way, for those of you who don't know me, I've got my name right here. I'm Athena Barry, your Crystal Reiki master and author of award-winning book. Oh, it's on this side, Raise Your Vibes, and creator of CrystalReikiHealer.com. And of course, I am so grateful in the nick of time to be back here on the Fox Den. So my crystal for the week, because we were diving into all this amazing sexual energy, and I'm not sure if you talked about Kundalini, but I will get into that. So I felt called to the energy of Shiva Lingam. So this is it has such beautiful qualities, both for supporting our divine masculine and our divine feminine energies that are within us, right? So you can't have the yin without the yang, and we all have this energy. Likewise, this stone is also really beneficial for our most intimate situations. This one is, it can be wonderful for our sex lives, as it really intensifies, we'll say, our vitality, but also that pranic, or sometimes known as chi energy that's within our body. So this stone holds this beautiful energy of unity, of duality, and the shape itself actually represents the male energy, like this, and usually like the lighter colored is the male, and the beautiful brown swirls, and sometimes they'll be in dots, sometimes they're a little bit red, sometimes brown. This represents the female aspect in our energetic, body, bringing this beautiful union, like energetic union, and activates our sacred Kundalini energy. So this Kundalini energy, which is our life force, is that sometimes known as that serpent that's coiled down below, waiting to awaken. This helps rise this energy up through us, through our spine, our central nervous system, and activates all of our chakras, bringing us into a real sense of alignment. And when we engage in intimate activities, intercourse specifically, we really have direct contact with this creation energy. Our Kundalini is, if we're doing it right, if we're enjoying ourselves, right, this Kundalini energy is activated and it rises up through both energetic beings. So kind of circling around each other, giving, receiving, and you really become unified, not only physically, but also energetically. So that's why they say it's so important to be careful who you share as a bed partner, because you really are exchanging this energy, and it's a lot more powerful than we give it credit for. So this is, whether you're young or you're older, just, be aware of who you were sharing energy with. If you don't want to share energy with them, you shouldn't share your bed with them. It's a good rule of thumb. Yes. Also, this stone is wonderful for our own inner transformation. It helps us to break up, any patterns of those like self-limiting habits or beliefs about ourselves that really tend to interfere with our ability to be able to enjoy intimacy. I hear about this it happens with men too, but I hear it especially with women. They can't get out of their head, they can't get out of their stress, they can't relax enough to enjoy the intimacy that they're participating in. So having a piece of Shiva Lingam with them is really helpful. And you can keep it, on your bedside. I probably wouldn't use this as a yoni egg, but hey, whatever floats your boat. This stone, actually, it comes from quite far away from where I am, at least. It's from Western India in the Narmada, if I'm saying that correctly, river, and one of India's most, like, their holiest of sites. And you'll find these naturally shaped like this over there, but not always. Most of the ones that we'll find in crystal stores have been polished to create this shape. So I
have some friends over in India on Facebook. Maybe I'll see if they can go.
Maybe they can find one for you. It's only in this specific region out of that river. So it would be amazing if you could get that, and maybe get two. I'll get one too.
I'll take it.
I'm putting in my order. Yes, because if you can get the natural one, it's such a gift. Anytime you have a naturally occurring shaped stone like this, it's really a gift from our Mother Earth. Yep. And this egg shape, actually, it's really it's a symbol of the Hindu god Shiva, or also known as our masculine energy. And like I was saying, the markings here, like sometimes dots, swirls, all this is the female energy, and also, of course, symbolic of the female yoni. Likewise, it's symbolic of being that kind of cosmic egg, right, from which all creation is said to emerge. This is the how they view this, especially in India and among more spiritual people. According to legend, because I have to do a little history on this, right? So according to legend, the goddess, if I can say this right, Parvati, made the Shiva Lingam by grabbing a fistful of sand. And it was there in Kanchipuram, I want to get the name right, that she worshipped the god Shiva as she created this from holding the sand. So, talk about that beautiful goddess energy meets that god energy, again, with that divine feminine, divine masculine. It's awesome, and love the history. This egg also symbolizes like our primal energy, like our root core energy of the creator, and a depiction of the infinite cosmic column of fire, as they say in India. I'm not sure what the Sanskrit word is for that, but they have this belief in the cosmic column of fire, and it's represented in the Shiva Lingam, because this is from the earth but created of fire. Like I was saying, this one activates all of our chakras. So in a way that it's rising up through us. So when I'm in my own spiritual practice, I always say how important it is to begin with our root chakra. And once that's balanced, then you move to your sacral, and then your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and then your crown. Going the other way around is we tend to get lost in our spiritual practice. So the way this one works is the same kind of thing. It starts at that root and it rises up, and it really balances and creates harmony, like this energy flow. So not only are your chakras balanced, but they're working in harmony together. And this Kundalini energy, it just, it rises up through us. And so anytime you feel like you need, a boost of creativity, or you need help finding inspiration, or likewise you're self-doubting yourself, or you've got these patterns of, putting yourself down, this is a really good one. You can hold it right over whichever chakra, you're working on, or you feel like needs balance. And when you do this, really just visualize that Kundalini energy rising to your chakra of choice that you want to work on to help balance and create that energy flow. Ways you can use this crystal. You won't see this one so much as jewelry. I personally love to use this in my spiritual baths, to really help myself to balance my own divine feminine and masculine energy. And I also like to, keep it on my bedside. So when I had first heard or learned of this crystal, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get one of these. This is going to be awesome. And I really expected to have this fiery, passionate experience with my husband, or, sorry, that's TMI. But what I found is actually it, instead of creating this like fiery passion, which not to say you can't have, but it really brought a much deeper sense of intimacy and connection, which of course makes for better outcomes. Yes, thank you. So, if you're looking for connection, yes, yes, if you're looking
That's
to
exactly
connect with your partner, maybe, we were talking. Yeah, we were talking about reconnecting with your partner, and post-pandemic, during pandemic, and after, a lot of couples have struggled either with having so much time alone, or then drastically shifting back to the work of, life. So this can help bring harmony to yourself as a person, balancing that, but it really also helps with that, bring that level of intimacy back to your partner and back to your bedroom. As far as crazy, passionate kind of sex, I would probably go more with like a red jasper, with that root chakra, and from my experience. But this one is really better for, that tantric energy, that beautiful, that lovemaking, that intimacy, which of course, when you have that, means, greater periods of orgasm and ecstasy in general. So this would be my go-to if that's what you're into. It's also wonderful when it comes to sex magic. I don't know if anybody's heard of sex magic or sex magic manifesting. This one is really a wonderful tool to help support that, and really bring those manifesting wishes or goals like into your physical, because you're starting from a place of balance, and you're centered, and you can really think about, what it is you want in those moments. And we'll get to a little bit more of that. It almost deserves its own segment on sex magic. So
So when are we having the next show live with this?
to be continued. We'll dive into
we can
it.
watch your cheeks glow even more.
Definitely.
Yes.
So meditate, keep it on your bedside, stick it in your spiritual bath. These are all really great. If you're trying to connect with your Kundalini energy, this is a wonderful, wonderful choice. I also just made, because I'm doing this show and again, talk about inspiration, I created an ASMR Reiki healing video using Shiva Lingam to help balance that divine feminine and divine masculine. So that's up on my own YouTube, Crystal Reiki Healer. If you feel called to, I welcome you to take a moment to enjoy.
Over there and subscribe.
But after you're done with yes, and please subscribe. I always appreciate it. And of course, I love to leave you with a beautiful affirmation to help you connect with the energy of your crystal. And so for this one, I surrender to the divine that I may be a whole being of enlightenment. And that wraps up our crystal segment of the week for Shiva Lingam. And thank you, ladies, so much. I hope this has brought value to your day, to your evening, and to your previous show.
Yeah,
100%.
it works together so well. So yeah,
It really, I always try to find that connection,
you
with
never fail,
whichever guest you
except
have.
when you were over in the UK and leaving us alone.
I know. Sorry.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You had way too much fun with hubby. So
And it's
we'll forgive
I
you for that.
did have a lot of fun. It was really nice. Yes. And I actually brought that stone with me. So maybe that was part of it. I have some red jasper too, but
Just saying.
You must you need a big rock sack to go somewhere. It's like, why did
Wait a
you
minute. Can you
my
see her
gosh.
going to the airport radar? What the hell is this in the
My
bag?
suitcase was ridiculous. Yes, when I was coming back and going through customs, the lady's like, "Excuse me, you need to come check this out. I don't know what's going on in here, but this needs some looking." And I was like, "Okay." I'm like,
And then that was a whole crystal Reiki session.
We had a
going on
whole
Honey, what's this
crystal
all about?
education session.
yeah.
Oh my God, legit. It was so funny. And she brings it over and I was like, I can't lift it. So is it okay if my son can bring it and put it on the table for you? So she let him go through, the security bit to go ahead and he's this big, broad buff, almost 16-year-old now. So he went and put this on and okay, you need to open it. And and what's this? And oh. And she just, everything was, oh, what's this? And I've heard about that. And how do I use this for whatever it was? And I'm looking at her like, I'm trying to
class now. I want to go home. I'm
like, you really should check out my Instagram or my YouTube channel. It's Crystal Reiki Healer. You'll find all the information you need. Can I
go home now?
Yeah. Trip.
It was really funny. It was funny. And I wish I had the book in there. I would have given it to her. I would have been like, here, take it. But I had moved it because I had to bring this other giant. He gave me, I'll bring it for the next show so you guys can see it. He brought me this beautiful, it's an aura quartz, amethyst quartz. It's so amazing. This one over here. So this is my amethyst heart. Mm-hmm. So it's a lighter one of this. It's got this beautiful aura and it's maybe 2 times that size. It's huge.
You are just
gorgeous.
Yeah, she is. I'm glad somebody agrees with me.
Yep. I know. He's good at getting me what I love. He picked that. I had nothing to do with it. He was like, that's the stone we're bringing home.
You chose him. So that's why he is able to choose for you because you knew exactly which. So it's okay.
Yeah, you see how it's all about that union, that balance.
It's okay.
Right?
So Gina, write your birth date down on a piece of in an email. Put mine in, and we'll send it to Miss Smarty Pants over there, and she can give it to her hubby and say, "Do you pick these ladies something crystal?"
It'll probably end up being amethyst. It is his favorite. So
I no arguments there. I like amethyst, so I'm good with that.
I love amethyst. Clearly, yes.
Yeah. No, really?
So yeah, it's been a wonderful part of my own spiritual journey too. Having these gorgeous large pieces have been, I love small crystals too. And I'm always pairing it, with clear quartz to amplify its energy when they're little bitty ones. But these, there's no amplification needed. It's like they are it's like a loudspeaker of energy. You feel it like, oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's like when you walk into that office, if somebody who doesn't know anything, you blindfold them and you walk them into the office, and I can bet you that the energy is tangible to them.
Yes, I like to think so. It's interesting because when we bought the house, and we were, going around the different bedrooms, and there's 5. It's a pretty big size house, especially we were coming from a 2-bedroom condo in the city. So when we moved in here, I walked into this room and it had just been kind of like one of these random side guest rooms or something, it's downstairs, it's separate from all the rest. And I just walked in, I was like, oh, this is my healing room. Like, for sure, this is what I'm going to do here. This is mine. And I just kind of claimed it. And, you know, I mean, I guess we could have guests. The first year, I think I still shared it with guests, but then I slowly
Done.
took over.
Go upstairs. Go sleep on the sofa. Go away. Get
Yeah,
out.
I'll pull a mattress out for you, but yeah, this is my
Got
space.
the bicycle pump out and pump up the air mattress for you. Not a problem.
Yeah, no
Put it in
problem.
office.
And it was interesting because they had claimed it as this healing room, and then and I wasn't really. I mean, I had started dabbling, but I hadn't really I wasn't like I am now, I should say. And I ended up having my back surgery, and it was such a weird thing because like we had the guest bed in here.
Mhm.
And I ended up healing in this room.
Yeah.
Like this is where I spent 3 months recovering in this room. And I was like, wow, I called it my healing room.
Yep.
I didn't think I would be healing in it. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
No.
So, and now it's, you know.
Okay. Just for a matter of opinion, we have
Say,
3
any
people.
healing room.
We have 3 people eavesdropping on this conversation. So, people, please, if you want to, you can say something. We don't bite. Okay. Well, Gina does.
Yes.
There you go. You're kidding.
Never mind. It's okay. It's okay.
I might.
I know. Did we lose our
top tier,
audience
really
when we
cool.
switched over here?
Yeah, probably, but it's okay.
Yeah.
The top tier, we're the good girls. Gina?
Yeah, we're the good girls.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
You damn straight you did, girl.
You resemble that remark? Is that what you said?
She does very much. So look in the mirror.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. So we should talk about some sex magic and manifesting, because I think that's a really it's a good one. And you know, the really great thing about sex magic is you don't need a partner for this one. Obviously it's more fun if you have one, but you know, if you don't, you know, which every time I've put this up on my Instagram, people are like, oh, but I'm alone. I don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? You don't need that for sex magic. Okay. Like
quick question. Yes. Can you think of any crystals that are in Pakistan? Noor is in the chat room and he's from Pakistan, so we can have him send us.
Oh, how much fun. Greeting from Pakistan.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. God, like off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. There's so many crystals.
He's my friend on Facebook. I'll send him.
I will let him know. You know what? And Pakistan, like other regions of the world, you know, you can find. I'll look up and find exact crystals that are in your region. But these are ones that you can find, like if you go for a hike, kind of thing. You don't have to go into a mine and dig them out. This could be like on your hike. Just kind of pay attention to the rocks that are, on the ground. Those might not be rocks. They might be crystals. Yeah. So I had a follower that lived in Georgia, and he found natural citrine, gorgeous citrine, just in his backyard.
Mines, it is.
I was like, can I visit your house?
Do you remember a while back? Sorry to take you off of the sex magic, but do you remember a while back what I said my dream would be to go and do? Right?
Oh, yes.
Guess who sent me paperwork on it? It's like, you girl, I'm really just doesn't mean I'm gonna get there, but she just had to do it. She's like, oh,
where is it? Oh, this is in New York.
New York, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was her daughter, right? Correct.
Yep.
It sent you the pamphlets on it. It's like, oh.
Yep.
So how does that work? Is it like a tour that you go?
No, girl, you go in, you pay money, and you mine for whatever you want, and you get to keep
that's
what
I mean. Oh, yeah. Awesome. How much do they charge for this excursion?
I don't remember. Do you?
Yeah. No, I don't remember. But I remember watching a video of these guys who went to do a diamond mine, the Herkimer diamond mine, and they did their thing. And a guy came out with a chunky hunky rug like this, and they got to keep it.
Oh,
and it was worth like a bajillion more than he paid for it.
Whatever he paid for it.
Because
can I go in and I'll just put my hands out and we'll see. Okay, lead me to the biggest one, angels. Oh my gosh! Well, next time I'm in New York,
you did not put some stones on my front porch. So I came home one day and there was rocks on my front porch. I can't figure out who did it. Tracy, was that you? But yeah, when I
Wasn't me.
used to work at the convenience store, whenever a client would go away on vacation, I had a truck driver. He was like, he would drive to Alaska. I've got stuff from Alaska, from Yukon, and it's like
Beautiful.
and people is like, yeah,
Amazing.
it's just a rock, but it's not just a rock. It's part of. So,
I know.
but
It's
yeah,
always kind of funny to me when they say they're rocks. I'm like, okay, yeah.
yeah, it's okay. And you all
Yeah.
Not,
got rocks.
not
Hey,
letting
Lynn,
you.
Okay.
remember when you were a little kid? Okay, for me, my father used to say I had rocks in my head. Well, for a while there, I had unbalanced. I got the dizzy spells, and when I found out what it was, it's because they said my crystals in my ears were unbalanced. I went, see, my father was right. I had
Three
rocks in my
hours
head.
and 20 minutes. It's 3 hours and 20 minutes from me.
There you go. She's
And,
googling it. But yeah,
Amazing.
that's like Kirk Diamond.
Amazing.
yeah.
Well, and it's true. We actually do have crystals embedded,
Yeah.
like in our bodies. Birds also
Mm.
have them, and it's hypothesized that the reason birds migrate the way they do is because the crystals that are actually they have them in their beak.
Yeah.
This directs them, leads them like a compass along the ley lines of the earth.
Yeah,
So
that
that
would
they
make
can
sense.
find where they need to go. They have like a built-in compass. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much about crystals and crystal energy that science is still kind of trying to catch up because it's so like, I have to prove this and I have to prove that. And you need the money, you need the funding to
I'm sorry, but
perform
half of these
these.
proving things, if you just go with how you feel, you know it's real.
It's very difficult for the more, scientific minded, I guess we'll say, people to do that. It's really hard to trust. It's weird. It's almost like at some point during education, they're so ingrained of, I have to study and I have to see the proof of this and the proof of that. And I have to prove my argument with this, that, and the other, that they lose sight of that genuine, heart-centered compass, that intuition. So I love to see a balance, there's nothing wrong with
It's like when my kids were young and the teachers they'd come home with a math problem and the teacher would say, these are the steps you have to do, A, B, C, D, right?
right.
And I'm on D, right? I don't follow rules. So I went A, C, B, D, got the same answer, but the teacher marked it wrong because it didn't get it their way. I said, no. She got the right answer.
See, and that's
So
so ridiculous to me.
I don't care how
They
you
keep
get there,
doing that
as
in
long as you get the
math.
right
Yeah, it
answer.
doesn't matter how you get
Yeah.
there. If you're getting the right answer, you're doing the right thing, then what, does it really
I
matter
think it
how
may
we
have
got there?
just
I
been
mean,
that teacher, quite possibly,
it's
but
I think it's a lot of teachers. I mean, and then I see that a lot when they change, like when my sister, I have I have two younger sisters, but my youngest sisters, we have 9 years difference. And by the time she went into school, they had created new math. So this new math was like, I don't know, the new form of calculating, which made zero sense to me at all. And then my kids go into school and we're like, oh, we have Common Core math. And I'm like, how do you guys keep messing with math? I mean, it's so like,
math is math.
of all things, math is so like.
And Tracy in the chat room is a teacher.
What do you think of this?
Yeah. All right.
She'd be like, I'm
changing
running
of
away
math?
from home.
Math, like we were taught math that got me through my entire life, which is of the highest that I hold in regard in learning, because we need that to live, to work,
Yeah,
to
exactly. It's basic.
count your
But
money.
yeah,
It
where's my
meant
calculator?
everything. You know what I mean? You can't get mass or weight or area or anything, to.
Oh, see, well, that's where I have that beautiful balance with my husband, because he's like the math whiz and I'm like the English one, the writer. And so between the two of us, I'm always like, read. And he's like, calculate.
Perfect.
So, my kids get to have both. It's great. If they need help with an essay, I'm their man. If they need help with, math, you got to go see daddy. It works out really well. We play darts together. Especially in the summer, now that it's warming up, we're getting to do this again. So we put the kids to bed and we go outside and we start playing these darts, which is so much fun. But when we started, which was during pandemic, I can't see. What am I looking at?
Diamonds.
Oh, beautiful.
Yep.
Gorgeous.
Camping, dining, shopping, unique
go.
experience. They have families. It's a woman-owned thing, so it's saying counts as a
Love
woman
it.
property. Yeah, so everything here, mining.
Sarah.
Sarah's
Sarah
like, "Can we
Murphy,
talk about
love
magic
math,
again?"
love English. Can we talk about sex magic?
Yeah, okay, so talk about sex magic.
Okay, let's sex magic.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Sarah, bringing us back on topic here. So, when you are using your Shiva Lingam, you can keep this on your bedside if you want, or if you have like a shelf above your bed, it's really good under the bed, as we talked about before. Maybe not on the pillow just because things can get moved. But this is really amazing. So when you have this level of intimacy and you are how do we say this? PG.
Just say it. No, we've already
you're
given that
having,
one
yes.
yet.
So when you're having this intimacy, you're having, no, you did that for the last show, not this one.
Okay, hey, this is a 19 and above. Anybody heard? We're gonna put that.
Yes.
We'll figure out how to put that before the show.
Yes. So when you are engaging in physical intimacy, whether it's I love it, whether it is on your own or with a partner, the point is and this is for men and for women. So our sexual energy, our area of creation, is with our reproductive system. So when you work with this, think about it. Life is made here. Magic is made here. I mean, this is the doorway to heaven, if you will, literally, because this is how humans are born. Really, they're coming through this gateway to heaven. So when you're doing sex magic, you'll feel that build, we'll say, of energy. You can feel, like anybody who's climaxed before, you'll feel like this building up of energy, right? Like this tension almost. And it's in this tension, it's before you have this release, but in this tension, when you feel this energy mounting, this is when I want you to, and don't stop, right? Keep going. But while you're in this moment, just keep it in mind of what you want to work on manifesting. And this could be, anything in your life, your dreams, your goals, a new job, a new home, having another baby. Gosh, what else would you like? Literally anything that your heart's desire, right? So whatever your heart's desire is, keep this at the forefront of your mind. So you want to keep this up by your crown and your third eye as you're activating that Kundalini energy, as feel that pressure building, and hold that thought until you climax. And when you climax, this orgasm, and again, whether this is by yourself or with a partner, you are releasing, like visualize just releasing that energy of your goal out to the universe. And you're doing it in the most primal, the most basic human creation energy that we have on this earth. And it is incredibly powerful. It's so potent. So I know some people kind of laugh when I talk about sex magic, but we're talking about the incredible energy of creation coming in and connecting with your dreams and your desires and just beaming those out to the universe so that they can transmute and come back into your life. And I have done this time and again, and it is really incredible. And you can do this as well of, creating that intimacy, that connection with your partner. Maybe you've been off a little bit. Start doing some sex magic, manifesting that connection with your partner, and just see what a difference it makes when you climax. So that's my spiel there on sex manifesting. Do you have any questions out there, Sarah? Any questions about how that works or what I can do? It's not too graphic.
Nope.
Nope, you got it. Which stone under the bed? So if you're working with sex magic, I really love to use Shiva Lingam. This one's really good. I love red jasper for sexual energy as well. That's really more of that root chakra, fiery kind of energy, and kind of like earth and fire coming together. But for sex magic, I really, this is kind of my go-to. This is the one that I would choose. But again, if you resonate with a different crystal, I mean, have at it. There's no wrong here is the thing. The main thing, it's not even the crystal itself. It's allowing that tension and that energy to build and holding your manifesting thoughts in your mind at the same time, so that when you climax, you just visualize like it's releasing. And it does, it releases. And you're almost outside of yourself,
Yeah.
when you do climax. So use that energy to manifest. It's incredibly powerful.
It is. It's the whole point of all of this.
Yeah. The show that
Yes.
we had, if y'all didn't see the show that we had previous to this one, go check it out. It's like, it's just these two things should have been together. These two shows should have been together. Maybe if I can figure out how to do that, I just might link them together, so they can still go up together. But if not, it's out there. Y'all know where to find everything we do.
I could probably put the audio together, but
Yeah.
I mean, you can probably clip them together if you have any kind of editing app type thing. I don't know what I think on Apple's like ProCut. I use KindMaster. I really like a lot for like YouTube videos. I don't know if it would support such a large file, but
right. Yeah, that's the
think
thing.
about
I don't do such a large file, like when I do my videos and stuff for people.
yeah.
This would be way too big, but I might be able to do the audio on it. But I don't know. We'll just tell them to
Get them both.
go. Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. So you know what? Just like gives them a little taste to go on and check out the next one.
Right.
Exactly.
Because they couldn't stay with us. They were doing a retreat tomorrow, so they had to go get ready for their retreat. They were an excellent couple, very knowledgeable, had completely and utterly different backgrounds. He was like free with himself and his
Tantric
sexual
learning as a child. He used. I gave him a book on tantric meditation.
Yeah, and she did not. She had the typical, father calling her a whore type thing because
she had sex at 18.
At 18, right? I mean, who even in this day waits till 18?
Yeah, well,
right?
she was
my
in,
God,
she
I'm
was
hoping
in
my
the UK.
kids
She was
do.
in
Please
Germany,
wait.
so it made a difference.
I know, right? Oh, I know you do hope and pray, but really, reality, so she waited.
I mean, that's a lot of one of those things, we're especially here in America too, and other places where you have like strong religious backgrounds. We come from a Puritan group, but like, Islamic countries as well, same thing. It's this major repression of that female sexual energy, and so much shame around that side of things. I mean, my mom,
China, where they actually butcher you. It's like,
or there's places in Africa where they actually disfigure the females. Yeah. And when they're like old enough to really, know what's happening. I literally can't even watch stuff like that because it makes me so
angry.
So yes, I'm so upset. I can't even fathom that someone could do that to another human being. It's like, here, just cut my arm off. Why don't you?
Well, just kill me now.
You don't need this part of your body. It's fine. Like, what? Like, oh, you can write with your hand. We better take it off so you can't write. Like, what? Who does that? So it's really unfortunate that this has this idea and this culture that women should, and men too, that we should keep all of this private, that we should keep all this secret. Not to say that it's not a private and secret thing, and it's definitely something that's intimate, but I think it got lost in translation somewhere between intimacy and zipping it up. It's not, these two are not the same thing. And I think couples can share, this beautiful energy together. It's really not something we should be ashamed of. I mean, it's literally how we're made.
It's life, right? It is life. This is how the whole planet and how everything on the planet.
How all of us are here, I mean, it's like, why is that a bad thing? Be safe, take care of yourselves. I mean, my main thing, when I talk to my kids, like gradually as they get older, is respect your body, respect yourself. You just go throw yourself all over with whoever. I mean, your body you're sharing energy with that person. And, if you don't really even like them, why would you share energy with them? It's like, come on,
Right.
that's gross. Respect yourself and respect the other person too.
It is.
It's important.
Yeah.
So
And then that puts forth a loving, trusting soul for a relationship in the future too. Because you can't have a good relationship without trust. You can't have a good relationship without that feeling of security.
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
So, if that goes out the window, so does everything else.
Yep.
Everything else too. I mean, it's really like the glue that bonds you together, I mean, and it's something that's so sacred and shared.
And you're doing a good job because it is a thing that needs to be taught.
Yeah, it did. Oh,
And this is
y'all
not,
did
and this is
over it.
not about, it's not just about partnership relationships, as in
I love this, Noor.
husband, wife,
Yes.
and two husbands and everything, two wives, two moms, two dads. It's about relationships in general. Here's just Gina and I. We wouldn't be able to do these shows unless she had. I mean, we each had our own shows separately and individually, and we were great. But to put it together as one doesn't always work. I've had shows before that didn't work. It's not because it didn't. It just didn't click. We did our best. We tried, but it just didn't click. Gina and I, we trust each other. We understand each other. She loves me. I want to kill her. I'm sorry. I love her. She's the brains, and I just sit here and look pretty.
I love it.
And if we didn't have that connection, it wouldn't work.
Well, you always have to have that balance.
Exactly.
It's
Athena
really
came into our lives, and
down here, but that's why she works with us
exactly.
too.
She came
Because
into our lives as a guest. And I was like, and you just
know.
sort of fit into that little nook, Like some people would be like, well, you know what? She said, yeah, you have your own show, but you add such quality to this show as well.
Thank
And
you.
you always manage to pick the perfect crystal for
knock on wood. Yes, I really try. And I think that's one of the really nice things about this show and you two working together and having me come in here. I didn't want to be this, I didn't want to intrude, and
your
take
baby
over.
sister, just deal with it,
I know,
child.
thank you. But it was so nice that everyone really, and this is important for all relationships, not just intimate partnerships, but all relationships, is you respect each other's place and the value that they bring. Into the relationship. And so thank you for
100%.
respecting my part on that. And I always try to be very conscious of yours as well. So thank you. And we have a good night. So yes, Noor, sexuality, it does evolve. It does change. As far as our thoughts about it, and as far as our culture and our society views it, but sexuality itself,
you
I don't
go
think it
way back, right? Where it was men conquering women. And I even put up this, hold on a second. These days.
Oh my goodness.
Belts for men and women. Okay.
Wow, I'd never seen the male ones.
Talk about lack of trust. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Again,
Well, and it's really, I don't even know if it was about trust or if it was about control. A lot of this is probably both, like just wanting to control that other person because, remember, there's so much powerful energy in this. And, men and women, human as a whole, really like to have power and control over, someone. I don't know where this comes from or why people do this, but it's this maybe a sense of just insecurity on their own part, and they project that by being overbearing, and hence chastity belts and
that's throughout history in every
every culture, except Native Americans. A lot of Native American cultures actually, women had way more say in that.
Native American culture that holds to high standards.
Yes.
Transgender women, men and women, bisexual men and women, they were more than likely, if it wasn't a woman, she was transgender, she was gay, he was gay, and they are the medicine women, they are the carers, the true foundation. That is, it's like, hello, people, can you get your shit together? So, Nora, thank you very much. Nora in the chat room says you three are amazing.
How will sexuality be viewed in years to come? Hopefully, with more of an open mind, and
Yeah.
hopefully,
I think it is in some
But-
respects. So long as
In
you're
some
not
respects, it's definitely evolving. In some societies, some
phobes.
cultures, it's starting. We're getting little pockets of acceptance and openness,
I
and
think
those
it's
that
like spirituality. It has its time. It has its place. It will come forward. I mean, back in the day, witches were, oh my God, she's a witch. It's an evil thing. Now it's like, oh, you're a witch. Can you help me with this, and that? So it just, it's two totally different. Thanks, Nora. It's two totally different things, but they both have sensuality, sexuality, spirituality. It's all coming forward that it's changing, but I think it is that it's not just it's changing. We're changing. We're being more open minded. My parents would not have known how to deal with me and all the stuff that I do now. You know, that they didn't know how to deal with me and the stuff that I did when I was a teenager. And trust me, it wasn't spirituality that I was
My
into.
mom wouldn't talk about anything. She would no way talk
Yeah.
about anything. And my dad was just like, zip it.
Yeah.
We'd only talk if we needed to be, disciplined
Yeah, exactly.
or beaten.
Well, I thought it was really funny, or beaten, exactly. I thought it was really funny in school. They start teaching you like sex ed or whatever when you're in, I don't know, it must have been like 9th or 10th grade or something. And, and my mom is just, I mean, I love you, Mom, if you're watching this, but she has 7 kids, and this poor woman can't even say the word sex. I mean, it's like, my gosh, we don't talk about it. I'm like, you have 7 kids. Is that why you have 7? You can't talk about it? Like, what's going on here?
Okay, Mom.
You know how this works. And so I know. So I come home from school. I'm like, oh, I learned about condoms. Smack. I'm like, oh, what? Condom? Smack. I'm like, oh, I can't say condom. Smack. I mean, it was to the point where I was like, this is hilarious. Like, I can't believe you're smacking me over condom. Smack.
There you go. Yeah.
It was amazing. So,
wouldn't even talk about tampons. She really wouldn't. She's like, here, read the box. And I'm like, what is this?
oh my God, my mom shows me a tampon and a pad. She goes, here, pick one. I was like, I don't know what to do with either one. Like, there you go. You figure it out. I'm like,
the pads that were like, this.
They were long, and you actually had a belt to go with it. Remember that? Oh my
well,
God.
my mom had a belt. She's like, you have it so easy. Don't even ask me to explain.
Yes,
I had to wear a belt. I'm like,
yes,
what's a
yes.
belt?
That's what my mom got first. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Oh, torture
Like,
chamber.
I gotta believe that much.
Okay, I'm sorry. There's poor Noor. He's probably the only man in the audience going, oh my God, what are these people?
And from Pakistan, he's
dearly,
like,
but-
oh.
No, he's an amazing gentleman. He does a lot of work with a lot of people and helps a lot of people. So this guy is for good. But yeah,
Oh my
no,
God, I gotta find those stones in Pakistan.
It is sacred energy, though. It is all sacred energy.
It is.
It is.
It's not. And the thing is, we have to look at it that way. You can't look at it as, dirty, nasty. Hello, everybody does it. The bird does it. Birds do it, bees do it, and it's part of what it is, like the lady said earlier, it's how we became. It's how we were created. So it's not something, there's nothing wrong with it. Just depends on how you look at it, and how you speak on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't use it just willy-nilly. You don't use it.
And respect yourselves, respect
And-
your body, respect
Exactly.
the power of it. And come on, it's divine source
If you're in a
creation right there.
You want a trusting and loving relationship, then be in that trusting, loving relationship and keep it sacred, because it should
Yeah.
be.
It should be. Yeah. And it's so
Want
much
it- and if
better
you
when
want
it
to
is.
drop somewhere else, say so and go. Right? Don't.
Yeah.
be
Well, like I
afraid.
said, in my marriage, I told my husband from the beginning, there is no such thing as divorce in my family. But there is, correction, there is. It's spelled MURDER. And if you'll notice, he's still alive.
He's
that
still
song?
kicking.
Yeah, he's still alive. Trust me. We're not divorced. He's still alive. So he's still like.
Oh my
This is why I
goodness.
keep her around.
Well, ladies, guess what? It's 10 o'clock.
Oh my goodness. Oh, all
Oh,
right.
it is. It's
Excuse me.
7:01
It's our 10
already.
o'clock.
Oh
It's
my
your
God.
7 o'clock, Miss California.
Yeah.
It's 7 over here.
There you go.
So yeah,
Wow.
I'm gonna get
Yeah,
off
it's
and
my bedtime and you're gonna go frolic.
frolic. Yeah, well, that's one word for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll call it that.
she's gonna go frolic. She's gonna put her feet up and go, oh my God, I'm so tired.
I'm gonna have some bonbons. I'm gonna watch a movie. Yeah, it's not in the cards. I mean, I have 3
I
kids.
think,
My evenings are crazy,
can
and
I
they're
make
in
a
a good
suggestion,
crazy.
ladies? Can I make
Yes.
a suggestion? I think it's 7 a.m. in Pakistan. So, you have
Beautiful.
a good day.
His day is just getting started.
And he started it with us. Oh, Lordy. I think we should do this once in a while. Just have the 3 of us and
I
talk
love
about
it.
Whatever.
anything and everything, whatever's in the news, whatever's coming on. And I've said this to Gina before, I'd like to talk about subjects that are a little bit more,
She wanted to bring up the abortion subject. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought that
Okay.
was a great thing, but we should have some facts and figures.
yes.
See-
And I also want to have both sides seen as well, not just the ones that are all pro-life, pro-choice. I don't know, pro-choice. There we go. I can't keep. I know.
Just
Yeah.
no
Pro,
one pro.
pro.
We have to have 2
and I
pros.
don't want, and I know this. We
It's
are
my
the
body,
type of
my choice. That's
exactly, but we are the type of women that will let the person who believes pro-life have their speech, have their say, and nobody will be able to disrespect them in our show. That's just the way it is. We may not
That's
agree
Mama
with them.
D handling that
Yeah,
business right
we may
there.
not
That's
agree with
right.
them, but
it.
it's
Be afraid of that.
exactly. I mean,
She's
today
she's
I
a
got ticked. Today I got ticked, and
oh,
it had nothing to do with with abortion up here in Quebec. They're talking about the French language. They're talking about different things. There was women protesting in the city, in the capital, and that there's not enough daycare. But I said to my husband, I said, we wouldn't have to worry about daycare and women having to go back to work if we got paid for the jobs that we do at home. A woman is a mother, a cook, a maid. Think of all the things you do, and you think about the prices that these people are actually paid as an actual
can I
job.
get an amen there? Okay.
If
Yes.
the government would pay the women,
Seriously.
we wouldn't have to worry about daycare. Well, people. Okay, sorry.
Me too, Mama.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
I mean, it's
daycare,
true.
I
It's
mean,
such an undervalued job. And
It is.
I did,
why is it so damn expensive?
What,
14-year daycare.
Oh, yeah.
There
We
is
have
so
to
much
find- we don't
money
have
in
enough space for it.
children. There's so much money in children. There's so much money to take advantage, of a situation. And the reality is these days, at least here, is now it costs so much for daycare that it doesn't even make sense
To go to work.
to go
'Cause
to
you're giving
work
it all
because
to
all of
daycare.
your income goes to
Pay for daycare.
daycare, and you're not seeing your children.
Yep,
You have to work
exactly.
extra hours and longer because you got to pay for that daycare. I mean, it's just the whole system and the way that this works. I so disagree with how things are. And
Yep.
it used to say like it takes a village, and you'd have communities help each other. You would have families together helping each other, and we just don't see that as much
Yeah.
anymore.
No,
They're
exactly.
not. Everybody's thinking about themselves, it feels
Yep.
like.
Me.
And
You first after me. That's what it is.
yeah, it is. And I would love to see that change because I mean,
Me too.
come on, guys, like kids are our future. That's your legacy. That's
Yeah.
what's going to be deciding if we
That's
are
what's gonna
having
take
a
care of
nice
you
old
when you
age
get
or a
older.
really hard one.
Just
Yeah,
have that feed
exactly.
bag strapped on, the feed bag, drool bag. They're going to be the ones taking care of you.
We don't.
Yeah. So
Respect them now.
you got to respect them now, and people don't. And I don't know where that comes from. The children are just these like little annoyance things. And I'm like, oh my God, these are like incredible, magical little things who have a higher and closer connection, by the way, to divine and their intuition than we do.
But see,
After
there's
years of
another thing. People
programming.
for having. I remember one time a woman when I used to work at the convenience store. I had a woman one time. She came in, and her child was autistic, and she would go through moments of screaming, just all out, and then moments where she would have absolute conversations with nobody. And this woman, when she came, this was all in the space of maybe 10 minutes in the store where I worked. And the woman came up and she's, I'm really sorry about my daughter, but she's autistic. And I stopped her there. I said, look, do me a favor, don't apologize. I said, she is a gift. I said, and her conversation with somebody may not be because you cannot see it, because she can. And
Well,
her,
she's had so much judgment too. I mean,
exactly.
so many people telling her,
You can
what's
come in
wrong,
here
blah,
and
blah,
she can
right?
chit chat all she wants, and not a
Yeah.
problem. Go for it.
Yeah.
If she wants to scream, if anybody has an issue, tell them to come say, hey.
Well, I really love, one of the things I really love about the children that I know that have autism, and my nephew is pretty extreme on the spectrum too, is you don't have to worry about them putting on airs. They
Yeah.
tell it when they finally speak.
Mhm.
And my nephew is somewhat verbal. Like when he comes to visit, he had like one word that he would say, that he would go around, he would walk around the house in circles, and he loved pacing, and he would come out with, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we're like, what happened? And it would make all of us laugh, and he'd go, ha, hilarious.
Exactly.
And he would keep going, but he would really, it would come out at times
Wow.
when it was like so appropriate. I'm like, man, where did you come from that you just heard that? Like, no filter. And no filter in such a positive way, like just telling it like it is.
Exactly.
So much of
telling
us
it
are
like
trying to
Imagine having
call
that innocence and that
and it stays with them so
Ability.
much longer.
I was never
than it
innocent,
does for
but okay.
us. Well,
I'm a redhead. I was never
maybe
innocent.
maybe you're a little on the spectrum there. I don't know.
On unfortunate circumstances.
I like Noor's comment. Your conversation talks need to be translated in other languages, because what you have talked about or have been talking are worth disseminating widely. Thank you very much. I think Facebook gives you that opportunity to translate the subtitles into the languages of your choice. I'm not 100% sure, but that's something we should look into.
And I don't know if YouTube does that. I know with YouTube it'll do subtitles automatic, but
I think you get to choose, but it's an idea.
I think it matches to whatever language you are.
Right.
Exactly.
However,
So,
I know when you on Amazon,
we gave you homework.
You can pay to have captions, but you can also pay to have things
different
translated.
languages. Yeah.
Different languages. So I mean, that would be a pay-per-view.
I know. Yeah, I also know that the thing we do this show on StreamYard was talking about doing. I'm such a good girl, and since I turned everybody on to StreamYard, I can't remember the name of it. Was talking about doing subtitles in different languages, but it was just talk in one of their or somebody asked the question about it in one of their town hall meetings. So, but yeah, I think that's why this is one of the reasons why, Nora, that I think that we should get together once a month. Just that it's like each of us choose a topic, and we chit chat for an hour or 2 hours, whatever we just choose, kind of sort of outside of the Fox Den, because we're all crazy busy on Thursdays. Because there's this woman who drives me crazy. I won't tell you who. Okay, but she always make me work on Thursday nights. But choose once a month. Choose like we'll say.
I think it's really great. I mean, I love being part of this. For one, it's like it has, for me anyway, it has like this sense of accountability. Like, I have, you lovely ladies and of course your audience, but it's like this, okay, this is what I've got going. This is what I have to get done. But it also brings out amazing inspiration, like for other avenues in my work too. Like today I'm making a Reiki video ASMR for Shiva Lingam. I'm like, I probably would not have even thought to do that if I hadn't had this show. So
it brings us down to pathways.
It's awesome. Yeah. It really opens up your creativity as well, and kind of keeps you accountable. Like, all right, you got to be here, right?
Don't talk about accountability. I just did okay, fine.
Hey, I made it here by the skin of my teeth, and only because there were no cops on my way.
I ended the show right when you came in. So this is why we made this show right here, because she was so well prepared, and
we could not have her doing this. Yeah, but the thing is here.
Perfect.
Yeah, and it led into everything else that we're conversating about. So this is why I think this is seriously. We need to have a conversation one time when we're all together, and not on the show, and we can have a sit-down conversation, hash this out. So if anybody, the next time you see this show and there's somebody missing, it's because they all disagreed with me. Give people long distance.
I love it. I love
There
it.
you go.
But
Aw.
this was the show, Sexual
It was
Enlightenment.
a good show. It was an amazing book. I think, like I said, for me, I said it at the time. Read the book. You get, if you have no idea what it's about, you have no idea what you're doing, and you want to get your toes wet and get an idea of what's happening. Read that book and then go take their course, because it will turn you into wanting to take their course, turn you on into taking their course, and then
Yeah. Read the
you
book first.
combine
because-
everything. Athena's crystal, and the stuff that we learned today on both shows. They're all gonna be smart people listening to us and jibber jabber.
Aw. Well, you learn something new every day, right? And this is
Yes.
just one of those shows. It just opens up your mind.
And in this case,
and
everybody
thoughts.
learns something new every week with Athena and her crystals.
Yes.
Right?
Like, I get used to this.
I get
Gina's
to,
done.
I get to play my exit video again.
Yes, you do.
All right.
Yay.
So
And
ciao.
everybody, we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Athena. I love you. Mwah, and Mama. Mwah.
Love you both. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Guys, thanks for joining.
Bye, Judy. Bye, everybody else who's in the chat room. Sarah, night night.
Bye.
Thank you again for joining us for another episode in the Fox Den. We're here every Thursday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you a variety of guests, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and our Anchor venues. We would love it if you would go to our YouTube channel, The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, and please subscribe, share, and definitely hit the notification button to never miss a show. We'll see you all next week, and subscribers, watch for our pop-up shows as well.